If you're watching this video, you're probably getting a little bit older like me, and you're probably going to want to clear up your skin just a little bit more, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to show you a new treatment that's in Korea. There's only about 10 of these in the entire country, and half of them are at teaching hospitals, and we have one of them here, and I'm going to test it out for you and tell you if it's good or not. What it's going to do is it's going to retexture my skin, increase the collagen production, remove wrinkles, age spots, pigmentations. Basically, it does a kind of 360 on your face. It has 7 different settings. I'm going to try the lowest of the settings right now. It has a big effect on people that are aging, if you have sun damage, if you have a lot of wrinkles, and if you're an older person, let's say you're over 60, 70, 80 years old, it has settings for that. If you're a younger person who's about 20 years old, it even has settings for that. So this kind of treatment can take care of you from very young until you're a little bit older, somewhere in the middle like me. So I'm going to show you my future. She did it yesterday, and if you can see her face, it looks like a little bit of stamps, like she had her face stamped, but over the next couple days, this is going to go away. This setting that was done was the same setting that I'm going to use. So my face is going to look like this.
Before we continue, check out soulguidemedical.com for more information.
So this kind of treatment delivers thermal energy underneath your skin at the dermal level. It's going to heal your skin from the top down, and then you're going to start healing from the inside out. So how badly does it hurt? Because most of these beauty treatments do have a bit of pain involved. Well, on the pain scale from 1 to 10, it's about a 3. So it's not so bad, but the higher intensity you go, it could be a little bit worse. It could get up to a 5 or 6. Sometimes I've heard 7, but mostly people say around 3. The first level I'm going to do, I'm not even going to put any numbing cream on it because it's a much lighter level. How long is the recovery process? The recovery process for my treatment at the lower setting is only 2 or 3 days. I'm most likely going to be left with marks on my face. It looks like someone is going to stamp my face. And then for the really intensive treatments, it's probably going to be about 7 to 10 days. And what happens is that during that time, your skin is going to start peeling. And once it peels, the old skin is going to fall off and the new skin is going to grow. At mine, just 2 or 3 days. At the strongest setting, about 7 to 10 days. How long does this treatment last? It can last anywhere from a few months all the way up to 5 years, depending on the setting that you do, and also depending on your exposure to the environment. Because if you get this treatment, you look really nice, and then you go out into the sun without any skin protection for the next few months, you're going to get a lot of sun damage and you're going to age at a much faster rate. Something that people often ask me is how they can maintain their youth for longer. And the number one thing I advise them is to protect themselves from the sun. Wear sunscreen, apply a couple of times a day, cover yourself as much as possible. I've seen cases where sun damage is going to be one of the biggest factors. After that, it's your lifestyle, things like smoking and drinking, and your general health. So if you want this to last longer, take care of your body and protect yourself from the sun. This is pretty interesting. It looks like I fell asleep in the sun and I only had sunscreen on in a few spots. Pretty interesting how the result is as soon as you finish. I'm going to explain what I felt. So during the treatment, I really didn't feel any pain. It's like 0. It just feels like you have a little bit of thermal energy going into your skin, but that's about it. Afterwards, it's a little bit warm on your face, but nothing too major. But then after like about 5 minutes time, when they have the kind of mummy mask on your face, it starts to get a little bit hot. And then when they put on the rejuvenation cream, because you need rejuvenation cream after you do this, that's when you feel a kind of burn because the cream is making contact with the exposed area. So at that point, you feel like, ooh, my face is on fire. It's like kind of painful, but I can't really say it's pain. It's just kind of a shock to the system. Then after a couple of minutes of me kind of like getting used to the shock, you're okay again. Now it's been about 7-8 minutes and my face feels hot, but that shock kind of feeling went away. I'm okay. I just feel like a little bit warm, nothing too major. In general, it's not a lot of pain, but it's just some things you should be aware of. Probably have a decent breakfast before you come so you don't feel lightheaded due to that little shock on your face. If you have very thin skin, you're going to feel it more. If you have thick skin, you probably won't feel it as much. I've seen this kind of treatment have a lot of really good results. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 days for my skin to calm down, and at that time, I'm going to show you the result. So what's the benefit of doing these kinds of treatments in a place like Korea versus any other country? Well, I can tell you that when you do these kinds of treatments in Korea, you're never really just getting the treatment itself. You're getting a kind of package, and in that package, it's all the other skills and know-how that Korean people have learned over the years in order to maximize the results and make everything a little bit better. All this know-how and all this knowledge is why people in Korea have such bright and shiny skin usually. And I often hear people say, well, it's in their DNA. And that's partially true. Korean people have very good DNA for their skin, but at the same time, they take care of their skin, so they've developed all of these technologies. Most people I know go to the skincare clinic. They're very into protecting their skin, again, staying away from the sun. So when you come to Korea, what you're getting is all the know-how, all their experience wrapped into a short amount of space. And this is the kind of competitive advantage that Korea has over other places. I've tested skincare all across the world in places like Thailand, Turkey, the United States, Canada, Brazil, you name it, I've tried everything. And I can say that Korea is at the top when it comes to leading the world in skincare and revolutions in technology. There's lots of good places in the world, some great doctors everywhere. You go to where you feel is best, but Korea is a pretty excellent option if you want to improve your skin.